Hello friends, we will learn Spring security. So in Spring Boot, it is one of the important terminology. So to secure application, we are implementing Spring security. So guys, in Spring security context, 2 points coming to our picture. One is authentication and one is authorization. So what is authentication and what is authorization? Okay, one user, suppose giving username and password value in a login system. So if the user is giving what valid username and password value, then the system is authenticating that the user is a valid user. So that is called as authentication. That process is known as authentication. That means once the user will consider as a valid user, then that user can be able to access the application, part of the application or a specific file. So once the user is authenticated, then the user can access something. So that process is called as authorization. Suppose the user is giving wrong password, then the user is not authenticated. We can say that is not a valid user. So in this context, particularly in Spring Boot context, so Spring Boot providing a dependency for particularly Spring security. So at the time of project creation, we will add. So default authentication Spring Boot is providing. We will see. So we will go to my environment, Spring Toolsuit environment. So one demo project we will see. So first of all, we will see a Spring Boot providing default authentication, and then we will see how that authentication we will do it of what through our customized way. Okay, so default username and default password a Spring Boot is generating, but we will give our username, we will give our password, then the user will authenticate. After successfully authentication, then we will go for authorization. So this is my environment, and so we will start. So now I will create a Spring file, new Spring starter project. So let it, I will give the file name, let Spring security, let demo. Spring security demo. Type is Marvin, version 17, everything is okay. So let group is com.example, artifact ID, description. So Spring security, Spring security example. Okay. And let my package name is com.silan.demo. Let it. Okay, so in this way, I fill some little bit information. Then I will click on next option and I will add wave. So some dependency we are adding. So Spring Wave, Spring DevTool, and what I was telling, Spring Boot specifically providing a dependency for Spring security. If I will write security, you see, so option is coming Spring security. So Spring security dependency we added. Then click on next option. Then click on finish option. So now we created a project structure. So that is a Spring Security demo. So now that project structure creation is going on. So in this way, so one project structure created Spring Security demo. Just I will open this folder and this is my base package. Okay. So now very simple things. Uh, what I was telling, Spring Boot providing a default authentication system. Suppose I will go to my base package. Simply, I will create a controller component. So new class. Let me class name is suppose let it home controller. Home controller. Okay. Suppose my controller component is dot controller. So now simply I will create a controller component. Click on finish option. So now we know that so a class will consider as a controller component. We have provided that we have to preceded at the rate rest controller annotation. So rest controller annotation I preceded. So one thing, so very simple things in controller component already we all have known. We will create a handler or we will create a method definition and also we will create an endpoint. Okay, so let it one method. I am defining public. Let my return type is string. Suppose let my method name is whatever. Suppose. Let say hi. Suppose this is my method and return. Okay, so I can write welcome to Spring Security. Welcome to Spring Security. In this way, suppose I wrote a message. So now I will create an endpoint. So because when I will run this application, so local host. Okay, called 8080 slash. So that proper URL that we have to write, and for this, I will create an endpoint and so getting information. This message I want to see. So that's why I will preceded the annotation get mapping. So get mapping and within bracket, suppose I will write slash hello. Let it whatever you can write. This is my endpoint. So now I will import this at the rate rest controller this annotation and also I will import at the rate get mapping annotation. Okay, control S. So simply just I presented a controller component. So controller component. So this controller name is home controller and simply one method I have defined. So the method name is say hi and this for defining. So how this method definition will execute. So when URL I will what enter in any browser. So local host colon 8080 slash hello. You see. So now I will run. I will run this application. So right click on the project run as Spring Boot app. And you see, happily it will run. Happily it will run. You see, happily it will run. Tomcat started on port 8080. So now I executed and happily it executed. So now I will open a browser. Okay, so I will open a browser and simply I will write localhost colon 8080 plus. So what I have taken slash hello. Okay. So if I will hit enter to see. So when localhost colon 8080 slash hello. So when I entered, you see, so a sign in credential coming to our picture. Because what I was telling, Spring Boot providing a default security mechanism. So when Spring security dependency we added, so Spring Boot provided default authentication system. Okay, and you see in this because our target is that controller component method definition will execute. As a result, we will get that message will come to Spring Security. So you remember, in this context, default username is user. Password, just we will see. So a password will generate. You see, we will see. So password, you see. So Spring Boot have generated a password. You see, using generated security password. Okay, so this is the password that Spring Boot generated. So when this application I executed, so Spring Boot generated a password. So this password I will copy and in output scenario, so I will paste here and I will click on this. So you see, so I got this message, welcome to Spring Security. So guys, what we observed, Spring Boot have a default authentication system. Now this user is validated. So this is default authentication system. So when we are executing a Spring Boot application and if Spring security dependency we have added, so a sign in credential automatically it is coming when we will enter the proper URL. So default username is user and whatever the password Spring Boot have generated, that password we will give. Then we can access this message. So this method definition executed. Okay. So this is default username and password. But our objective is we will customize that username and password. So in my next video, we will see how that username and password we are customizing. So I hope everybody got clarity with this concept. Thank you.